Hello. Hi. Um, this is Michelle Orwick, and I am live from Orlando, Florida, and I'm super excited to be here. This will be my last Tuesday night time frame. We are so excited. I've had lots and lots and lots of feedback, and I'm super excited to tell you that I'm going to be moving the live Facebook time frame until Mondays. Mondays at 7 p.m. seems to be, from all of your feedback, the perfect time. So here we are on our last Tuesday, and today is a really important and powerful day. So I want to give everybody time to click on before I get really into the astrology. I'm a couple minutes early, but I'm just here to tell you it's Michelle Orwick, and we're so blessed today by this absolutely gorgeous day in Florida. It's like the perfect temperature. So if you're ever thinking about coming to Florida and taking a class, this is the time of year. I spent a lot of the day outside with my clients today, and it just really doesn't get better than that, right? So one of the things that's happening here for everybody today is that today is the new moon, and we're still in the energy of the new moon. It happened last night or early this morning, depending on which coast you're on here in the United States. But this is the beginning energy, and a lot of what we're going to do today is talk about some of the crazy astrology that's going on, because trust me, it's crazy. How many of you out there are just feeling like this thick energy? Well, I want to explain why you're feeling the thick energy, what's kind of happening with the intensity of everything. So, wow. The good news is this is the beginning of the better, because a lot of you have had stuff going on. I've heard of all kinds of crazy stuff in the last few days: car accidents, people losing their jobs, lots of really dramatic change. And the good news is that we're coming into a time where change is for the better instead of change is destructive. So the good news is that, change is about making things happen now. Give it like just a couple more minutes, because I see everybody getting on. Hi, see all of you saying hello to me. Thank you. This has been such a crazy honor to me. I had no idea that doing this would bring about such help. So tonight's requests are all based on comments that have come in through my comment section over this week. So I'm addressing some things that are very specific to the people that have asked from last week's feed about some things. So this is all about what you guys want. This coaching session that I'm doing every week is really all about you guys and what you want me to answer. So if you have stuff for next week, go ahead and send me a private message, and I'll be addressing some new things at the new time. So we'll be doing Michelle's Magical Mondays at 7 o'clock every Monday here on Facebook Live with your questions. So the first question that I have is, what is going on with this thick energy? And that was the exact word that the person asked me. So the thick energy is the fact that last week we went through a transitional time astrologically, especially over the weekend. So some of you were feeling this tension in the air, and you felt like you're going through mud. And part of it is because you were in the dark part of the moon. So the moon was getting ready to transit into the new moon. So it was kind of like it was missing in the sky. And that also meant like you were energetically missing the momentum. The other thing that seemed to be really potent was the fact that Venus is also in retrograde, Well, Venus is the goddess of like happiness and joy and love and home and hearth and even in healing, and it rules both Taurus and Libra. And Venus actually went behind the sun, so we couldn't see it or feel it. It was almost like all your relationship energy was really sticky. And in that energy, it was really hard to make things happen. So a lot of people had, misunderstandings or just confusion, or they felt alone and lonely because you had this double energy of everything's missing. And so now we're coming through. You're getting ready for Venus to transit in a few more, probably about another week, I think. It transits into becoming the morning star, but it's at least starting to get back from being behind the sun. And now we have the new moon, and it's the new moon in Aries. So you have the sun in Aries and the moon in Aries right now. So that means that this evening, for its final start, is this massive energy of the new moon, and it's all kinds of fire energy. So this is a good time to start your projects. It's a good time to get things to happen. It's a good time to make it all go. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to get excited about stuff. I want you to make life dramatic. I want you to start all those projects that you've been waiting for. If you're wanting to start an exercise routine, you're starting to want to apply for jobs, have already been applying for jobs, but you're not finding anything, don't give up, because this is the energy where you want to show up. In fact, the huge thing that I want to really address today is that this week, more than anything else, this is a week to show up for your life. Maybe this weekend you wanted to crawl into a hole, you wanted to hibernate, and maybe, you've been feeling a little bit tense or depressed or aggressive or, stressed out. If that's the case, this is the week to make that change, because the energy is right there behind you saying, let's move forward. And it's going to get better. We really have to start looking forward to May, because the energy is really good in May. But right now we have, going into the last part of March and into April, we have momentum. In fact, today we have this energy where starting, I think Wednesday, I'm not sure the exact time, and it'll depend on your time zone, the moon's going to go into Taurus. So that's going to give you guys some energy. Mars is in Taurus, so it's going to give you some energy toward getting things done, especially when it has to do with your home. It has to do with that getting started with stuff. Get your house clean. Get an exercise program going. Take a deep, hard look at your budget and make some thought processes happen, because this is a really smart time over the next few days to do stuff. And then you get to look forward to the moon in Gemini over the weekend, and that's a great time for communication, and it's a great time to really kind of be communicative with the universe on what it is you're trying to accomplish. It's a great time to sit down and write out a goal plan. It's a good time to get ready to make a plan for the next 6 months. It's really leading up to some massive energy that's happening in August 21st to be exact. So what do you want to make happen? Because I want you to show up. And when you don't show up, you tell the universe that you don't really need it. That's the law of attraction. So maybe you're saying, I've already tried and I failed. Okay, I understand. We've all felt that way. This is the time to say, I'm going to start it again with a new perspective, with a new attitude. Another thing that is really weighing on people right now is their purpose. I've got one of my second questions is, I'm really struggling with how do I find my purpose in all the crazy energy that's going on right now? And so what is it that you're you're wanting to do and what is it that you are doing, they can be the same. So let's say you're trying to lead a more spiritual life and you work at McDonald's, or you're working somewhere that's really, really heavy, and you feel like you're an engineer, for example, and you're a female engineer in a office full of male engineers, and it feels like you're being attacked. Or let's say you have coworkers that are really, really bitter and they're negative, or they make fun of you, or they bully you. It can be 1,000 things that could go wrong when you're at work. And the idea when this happens and you're trying to find your purpose within a regular, mundane, everyday job, or when you're trying to live with a family member that's, maybe they're sick, maybe you're taking care of somebody that's dying or unwell, you have to remember that your purpose is to bring and anchor the energy of light in this world. And I'm going to really try and explain this in a concept that you will understand. The only way you can change negativity is not react to it. It's going to be there. There's going to be everybody in the world trying to feel you out, to create guilt, to create bullying, to create you into a manipulative way to do what they want you to do. And the really important part here is to understand that you are not needing to react to it. I mean, obviously, when someone hurts our feelings, the first thing we want to do is react. We want to have our hurt little feelings pampered, and we want to lash back out at them. And I'm absolutely the first person to say this is one of the things that I've struggled with over the years is, when my feelings are hurt, I want to lash out, or maybe I've been neglected, or I feel or perceive that I've been neglected in some way, abandoned emotionally or whatever. And what's really important for you to realize is that you choose your emotion. You choose whether you're going to be upset by something, and you choose how you act and react. So I tell that person, that engineer that's out there living in a man's world, or that person at work that's being bullied or made fun of, you choose to send love to the people who are really awful to you. I tell that person that's taking care of their negative, spiteful relative, even though you're doing everything for them and they don't know how to say thank you, I tell you to choose the loving answer, because when you react lovingly to another person, you're reacting lovingly to yourself. And this is where extreme self-care becomes important. If you're not getting positive feedback somewhere else, create the positive feedback within your own environment. Had something kind of awful happen this weekend, and it was something that was completely out of my control. And I wanted to act and react. I wanted to get mad. I maybe, got a little upset, allowed myself to feel that emotion. And that's the first thing I want you to do. Feel the emotion. But I could have let it ruin my day. I could have let it ruin my weekend. Or I could say, well, that whole plan isn't going to happen now. But I can choose to do something else that was productive with my day. I can say, well, this person makes me feel good, so let's go spend some time with these people who bring a joyful smile to my face. So yes, that's you, Samantha. I took one of my favorite friends out for ice cream. She is 11 and absolutely magnificent. And so what did I do? I could have felt bad, or I could take my girls out for ice cream. So that's exactly what we did. Maria and Sam and I went out for ice cream and completely ended up laughing and smiling and having a really, really good evening. So they saved my emotion, which was in fear because somebody had had a really bad accident. I was really upset. I could spend my time saying, oh, this person's going to be hurt. They're not going to recover. I could be in that negative energy, or I could send energy to the person that was hurt. They were in an accident, and I sent energy to this person and wanted them to be in healing energy and in loving energy. So it took me first getting myself out of my funk, which was my disappointment. And then the second thing was to send healing energy to her. And how do you do that? If you're, some of you who are novices to energy work, this is a form of thought process. The thought process, instead of saying, oh, can't believe that this is happening, say, I'm not going to worry about this person's health. I'm going to manifest. I'm going to imagine them well. And by the way, she is well. She's back to normal, feeling pretty good today. So what you do is you imagine that everything's going to be okay. And you send, what I do is I go into my heart and I imagine I'm inside a giant jar of glitter. And if you want to know a lot more about how to do specific energy work, I actually teach a kind of healing called theta healing. If you'd like to look that up, just an amazing woman has created this healing modality called theta healing. And so you're connecting, in her words, you're connecting to the creator. I like to think of it as my giant jar of glitter. And when you're connecting to this spiritual place where all things are possible, you're recreating your reality. So you're recreating your reality out of and taking yourself out of fear. You're taking yourself out of the energy of being scared or angry or whatever negative energy you're in, and replacing it with the literally a molecular change in your energy field that brings you into hope. It brings you into clearing. So for those of you who have problems with clearing other people's energy, where you're empathetic of somebody else's stuff, this is how you can clear yourself of that stuff and create instantaneous healings and instantaneous results. So you get into the energy of hope, essentially. So when something bad happens, send that person a hope, because worry is just a negative prayer. And when you start worrying and festering and manifesting, you create a self-fulfilling prophecy. But if you set an intention and a clarity, miracles happen. So the long story short I'm trying to say is, when somebody is bullying you or creating a situation that you can't get out of, choose love and choose to rise above the situation. And I'm not saying that it's going to make it perfect or make you super happy to be in this place that is negative, but you can choose not to be negative. You can choose not to take their insults. You can choose not to take their energy on, and you can send out the love energy. You can say, this person must be having a bad day, so I wish you true love and happiness. I wish you happiness and health. That's how I react to somebody who's wishing me ill or treating me poorly. I so wish you true love and happiness and health and wealth, and I wish it for you maybe over there. I don't want to interfere with my happy by bringing your stuff in, but I do want you to remember to choose love. And one of the best ways we can do that is to say, I love you. I love you. I love you to yourself. Like, how many of us take the time to actually look in the mirror? I actually keep a mirror right next to my desk for my clients, and I sometimes actually make them look in the mirror and say, I love you. And sometimes that's the hardest thing for someone to do. But if you don't love yourself, how are they supposed to treat you with love? Okay. So sorry about the interruption. I just got a phone call, so I guess I need to look at doing this on my laptop or something. So I apologize. That's the great joys of having something live. So when you're really thinking about this, think about self-love. And when you're getting into that self-love, that means you have to forgive all the things that have gone wrong, that you feel like maybe you have brought upon yourself. So you're letting go of worry, and you're replacing worry with a hope, because a worry is just going to manifest a self-fulfilling prophecy right into your life. So I call worry negative prayer. And you're going to start choosing love for yourself. You're going to start saying, I love you. You're going to start saying that you really are magnificent to yourself. And this works the best when you're really depressed. And you're going to say, I can never possibly do that. But seriously, when you are unhappy with yourself is the first and most important time for you to say, I love you. I love you. I love you. Like, it needs to become your new mantra. And when you really are kind of frustrated with somebody, they're a mirror for you too. And so that person that pisses you off the most, I love you. I love you. I love you. I forgive you for not being who I need you to be. I let go of all that stuff that's happening that is in the energy of what's happening. And I forgive you for not being my expectations, for not being my choices, and I set you free from that. That's the big way of doing it. Is it's going to be okay. I love you, I forgive you, and I set you free. And you're sitting there on the other side going, oh, that sounds so easy. You can say that, but trust me, my story is absolutely that I have 100% had to do this for myself. I have had people totally and completely hurt my feelings, abandon me at times, and every single one of them I choose to love at this moment. I choose forgiveness over anger. I choose to let go of anything that's holding a dissonant energy with them. And this is the perfect time astrologically. It's the perfect time for you, if you're wanting to show up in your life, to say, I'm going to show up even if it's negative, even if I've tried this before. So show up and accomplish your next goal. Show up and think big on your next plan. Show up and think, what is my purpose? Well, all of our purpose here is to anchor joy and love. And, what is the best things that ever happened to you? We all love it when we get a new pair of shoes or a beautiful piece of furniture or a new home or something. But no one's going to say to you at the end of your life, did you have all the things you wanted? What they're going to say is, were you happy? Were you joyful? So while it's nice to take care of yourself in a lot of different ways, I want you to take care of yourself here. Take care of yourself in your heart, and everything else will fall into place. Everything, I promise. And the way you treat yourself on a bad day will 100% change when you have one. Because a bad day can be just translated into a day where you're taking care of yourself. If you're in grief, grieve. I'm not asking you to stop grieving. I'm asking you to take care of yourself when you're grieving instead of shove it down. If you've had something that disappoints you, acknowledge that disappointment. Talk to somebody about it. And if you can't talk to somebody, journal. Write a blog. Get it out of your mind and out of your emotions. Find some way you can confide in your disappointments. Talk about and energetically let go of your failures. Write it out and burn it. Get rid of it, because one of the things that makes it so hard for us to think about doing something we've done before and not made it where we wanted to go is we're trapped by our thought that we're going to fail. Because maybe we have. Maybe we've honestly tried and tried and tried, and maybe I've applied for 400 jobs and it's the 401st job that is the one that is just right for me. I was just waiting for the right person to quit their job. Or maybe you've, went out on 40 dates. Go out on 41 dates, because that wonderful person is going to be there. the guy that I'm dating right now, I wasn't even going to go out with. I was absolutely not going to go on that first introductory meeting. And he was so insistent and he was so ready and he was so, I'm like, okay, fine. I'm going to be at this thing on this day at this time. You can be there. And needless to say, he came in and wowed me. And, you know, who knows where it's going? But isn't that the beauty of it all? Is that life is this journey. And so what I want you to do is start thinking about life as a journey. Where is your path taking you? There's massive research that says that meditation can help us calm our quiet minds. Now, the problem with meditation for a lot of us Americans is that we have monkey mind. And it's really hard to just go to that place of calm and peace. We're not sitting on a mountain, right? We're not a monk with, you know, all of our needs met. We actually have to go to work. We have kids. We have things that are going on. We have busy lives. We have hectic careers. And what I want you to do is understand that meditation is going to bring you the peace that you're looking for. So in the beginning, what I ask most of my meditation students to do is to think about a perfect day, three full years into the future. And this is also one of those scientifically proven phenomena. So if we think about what we can accomplish in 1 year, what our goals are for 1 year, we are super people. We think that we can make it all happen in 1 year. So it is proven that most people cannot meet all of their goals that they set for themselves in 1 year. However, we consistently under accomplish or don't ask for enough for a 5-year plan. So 3 years is the perfect amount. So what I want you to do is I want you to take a few minutes right now. I'm going to hold space for you right now. And I want you to think about what would life look like for you 3 years from now. What's the perfect day? How do you get up? What does it feel like when you get up? I did this exact meditation a few years ago. And I'd say 60 to 80% of what I was hoping for in that perfect day have already come true, and some of them are right there ready to manifest. So what is it that would be the first thing you would do in the morning? What's it like? Are you getting up and going to a job that makes you happy? What does that job feel like? What do the people around you feel like? What does your home feel like? What do you feel like? And I guarantee spending a little time meditating on what it feels like to be happy is a very good start. So what does it feel like to be happy? What is your happy? Because I guarantee your happy and my happy isn't the same. I see somebody on here that I know their happy is sitting there fishing, absolutely silent with the wind and the trees and the fishing rod. I don't even think they care if they actually catch anything. My happy is sitting by a lake. It's one of my happiest things. One of the reasons I go camping is that even though I'm doing some medieval reenactment when I'm camping, is so that either late at night or early in the morning, I can go sit by the lake. It's one of my very favorite things to do in all the world. And I live in Orlando, so there's a lot of lakes here. So we have a couple of them that you can actually walk all the way around. So there's 3 that I can think of offhand that when I'm really feeling stressed, I just go and I walk around the lake. And that's a form of meditation too. So I want you to think about what makes you happy and challenge yourself to do some of that this week. Challenge yourself to take a few minutes of every day to think about a perfect day 3 years from now. So that's a meditation that doesn't require you to turn off your monkey brain, but actually requires you to envision and create the things you want in your life while listening to your brain. So you're not turning off your monkey brain, you're actually using your brain to meditate. Because when you meditate, you come back down to your heart center. You come back and start recognizing what your purpose is. So we come back around to that first and second question, which was purpose. And how do we find our purpose? Well, get quiet enough to see what makes us happy. And when we're happy enough, then we're able to bring happiness to other people. That's our purpose. Everybody's purpose on this planet is to somehow find joy for themselves and enact joy for other people. And I want to be very careful when I say enacting joy for other people, because we want to be very careful that we don't get our joy only from making other people happy. Because if they don't comply, they can use guilt and manipulation to make us feel bad. So you have to find your own happy before you can have enough happy for anyone else. You're sharing your happy. You're not giving your happy away. And you're not taking your happy from just making them happy. So I want to be very clear when I say that. But sharing your happy, saying nice things. Just, I have a friend Brad, who always inspired me, because no matter what, when he went through a drive-through or talked to somebody that was serving him, they would say, you know, like at the drive-through window, "How are you today?" And they really theoretically don't care at that moment, but he would say, "I'm fantastic. How are you?" And you know, he always brightened people's day when he did that. And it was such an inspiration for me. And so one of the things that then hit me in some of the classes that I was taking shortly after was one of the speakers was talking about how when we're asked how we are, we talk about the I am. I am is so important. I am whatever. So if you had said, "I'm tired, I am frustrated, I am scared, I am nervous, I'm stressed," that's an energy that you set into your day. So every time he was trying to brighten the other people's day, what he was really doing was setting the intention for him to be fantastic. And he was. So he is absolutely 100% setting his intention, setting your intention, and brightening their day and setting his day. And so every time someone asks you how you are, think about setting the energy of, "I am happy. I'm fantastic. I'm marvelous. I'm joyful. I'm doing great." And I want you to actually start thinking about what it would take in your life to be doing great. So that's the questions I could answer for today. Some last minute astrology that I want to talk about is the fact that for those of you who are more energy, efficient and really into the heavy stuff, this is the massive energy break that they've been talking about. It's the 28th to the 1st. And so for those of you who follow the ascension process, some of you might be feeling ascension symptoms, which may be anything from just a changeover in your hearing or in your energy field. Some of you may be having energy detox symptoms, but right now we have the massive energy of the shift happening this weekend. And it's kind of exciting for those of us who really follow the astrology energy. So we're coming into the next layer of an energy field, and it happens this week. So get ready, because it's like everything's happening, everything's going. And so I go back to earlier when I said, make some things happen this week and start some new projects, get going, because this is the next level of the ascension process. And as we are moving forward, we're starting to skyrocket into who we want to be, where we want to go, what we want to accomplish. And the only way to do that is to show up. So thank you for showing up here for my Facebook Live. This is Michelle Orwick, and I've got some really exciting things to introduce to you guys next week. So I'm starting my new time and my new name next Monday night at 7 o'clock. We are starting Michelle's Magical Mondays starting in April, and we're going to be revealing some interesting things that day. I have something I can't even wait to tell you coming out that day, so stay tuned. And I'm so grateful to all of you that were here with me today, and keep sending me questions. I'll be excited to answer your questions, and keep giving you the information that I have to help you better and grow your lives. So this is Michelle Orwick, Theta Master, Theta Healing Instructor, and I'm also, a spiritual guide. I'm here to help you navigate the path of your own personal spiritual journey. And so let me do whatever I can to help you grow, to help facilitate these joyful moments in your life, and to give you some tips on how to move forward in this exciting and wonderful time. So thank you guys all, and I'll see you guys Monday night at 7.